Alright y'all, just a little video today. Talk to you a little bit on some homesteading stuff. We've been adding a lot of stuff on, and I'm working on adding some more chicken stuff. I think chickens are a very good homestead thing, and one of the most valuable in my opinion for several reasons. One thing, chickens are an animal that will provide food, eggs, usually every day, depending on the weather and if they're molting and everything. But you got that going where a lot of animals only provide food when you kill them. So you have that, and then of course you can kill them for meat. And they, for me, have been pretty easy to raise, pretty low maintenance. Build a nice little pen for them type of deal, and feed them and water them and let them go. A lot of people free range, but I hadn't really done that. We got a nice incubator, one that turns eggs and regulates the temperature and all on its own, and it does a really good job. We've had good success with it. We've hatched some last about this week or whatever, because they've been put in there at different times, but we got like 9 or 10 babies so far, and there's still a bunch of them left in there that are like a week or two behind, so they'll be coming up. I'm working on adding more space now for that, and out here doing that. And anyway, I think chickens are a good thing to get into if you hadn't got into it. And I've been adding these things on one step at a time, trying to do it as cheap as possible. But you know how that goes. It's like the smokehouse here that ended up being a lot more than I was planning on, but hey, it is what it is. But I'll show you in a minute what I'm working on for the chickens here. But I just wanted to say that hopefully I encourage you to do these things yourself, to be more prepared and more self-sustainable, and that I want to show you that I'm actually doing it and not just talking about it. And a lot of people have had off time this year with the quarantine and stuff. I work in logging, and we wasn't shut down at all. We are outside on a small crew, and logging's kind of essential to make lumber and paper and all those things, so we didn't have any time off. I do have a few days off every now and then if we get rained out or something's broke down and we can't work or whatever, and then I try to hit the homestead stuff more. But other than that, it's kind of been on top of work and doing this, and it's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. Also, you can usually tell a man's value by his hands or by his shoes. Most of the time, if he's wearing, those nice dress shoes and slick back hair and all of that, then from a practical standpoint, they're not worth much. They make their money off of somebody else's back. They don't actually do the work themselves. But like I said, I do logging, so I do a lot of outside stuff, and then homestead stuff and all that. And my hands, they have calluses on them. This one here has got a few boo-boos and calluses here, which I've wiped off a lot of the grease, but still some on there. Anyway, boots and pants. These are grease stains here. They've been washed several times, but they're just here to stay. And I wear these outside in the homestead and in the hog pen, and then if not, I wear my work boots. But on to the project here. And this is some old recycled wood my parents had. It come off of a deck. So I figured I'd do something with it. And it's a bunch of nails still sticking out, but they're so curled over, it'd be a hard time getting them out. I'm just going to come in here with bolt cutters or either a grinder and just, you know, cut them off or break them off or whatever, but that's not an emergency right now. I'm not a great builder. Let's see here. I do more work with metal and welding and stuff than I do with wood, but anyway, this little lean-to here was kind of the first anything to do with roofing type project that I did. And my other chicken pens over here. Have wire, and this one has tin over it. This one I just wrapped the wire over the top. I did have nest and stuff under that tarp to begin with, if you remember some of the old videos. But I took that down, took the nest and all that. And I moved everything in here as far as that stuff goes. And if you see there, those are the 5-gallon buckets that I cut in half and made nest out of, and a lot of the chickens like them, and some of them still use the wooden one there. But like I said, not very great at it, but it does the job. And if you're like me, if you're not really a carpenter or construction person, you can still do something and make it work. And we got the greenhouse over there, which I got videos on that project. But we're going to come back over here now. What I'm going to do on this here is I'm going to make this like 2. I'm going to come in here halfway, and then I'm going to put up a little wall here and a little door where I can come in this part. I plan on building some wire off of the end of here and separating some of the chickens out. The banner chickens from the big chickens, I'm going to put the banners over here and have them a little runway, and then a little building to get in and lay eggs and whatever. And then right here, I'm going to have like a brooding room in this section here, where I can have a heat lamp in there. And what we usually do with the baby chickens is put them in like a tote, one of those plastic tubs, and we have them in the second bathroom in the house now, is where we usually have been doing it, because it's really the best place we got for heating, so nothing can get to them and all that. But I'm probably going to move them out here once I get this little project done. I'll still be able to put them in a tub in here, and then also I'm going to put like a floor in here too, so once they get big enough to need more room, then I can pull them out of the tub and they can just run around, you know, on the floor in here. And then whatever chickens we raise that are hens, we can pull them out, put them in the other sides where they lay eggs, and keep the roosters in here as long as we don't have baby chickens until they get big enough to kill. So meat chickens, you know. And right down here, there's a lot of space under there, and I'm either going to take some old boards and, you know, nail them or screw them in the side there and cover it, or just some old pieces of tin. But either way, I'll have to do something with that gap. And I've got all this up today in probably 3 hours so far. I got one piece of tin on here, and I got to put the rest. And then, of course, I'm probably not going to finish it today, because I'll still have to close this in some and run the wire. And then the other side over here, I'll have to close in and put a door. Like I said, I'm going to put one door here to come in this part, and then that wall there, and I'm going to put a door there to be able to go in the second part. So anyway, like I said, moral of the story, don't be afraid of a little hard work. And even if you don't know how to build stuff, which I don't know how to build stuff either, if you brought a real carpenter here and looked at it, they probably laugh. But anyway, hopefully it does a job, gets you by, saves a few dollars. So stay prepped up, prayed up, and strapped up. See you. Alright, as you can see, this is where most of the chickens are roosting nowadays. And this is some pallets. Wrap some wire around it and some plastic to keep it a little warmer. And cut a hole in the back of the shed. And made a roosting place for them.